I've been wondering, guys, about a topic. A topic that revolves around my recent and latest type of approach in the gym. And this is the raw, the equipped free type of training method. And for those of you who have been following me for a while and Southwest know that I've been adapting this type of approach for myself. I've been putting my equipment, my supported materials on the shelf, and that revolves around knee sleeves, lifting belt, wrist wraps, any kind of wrap. Chicken wraps, nah. I wouldn't delete the chicken wraps. I need the protein. But yeah, and I did that because I wanted to change things up, because I started to suspect that my both stability and overall natural strength were lacking. Even though my strength per se were good for my capacity and I was quite fond of that, but I needed something to get me to the extra step, to the next step, for me to achieve heavier weights and bigger results, especially for upcoming even competitions. I wanna become great. I wanna improve myself to become really, really good at the sport. And if I want to achieve that, I can't stay where I have been. I need to do something else. I need to do something above what I've been doing. And therefore, training raw. Training with just my body and the weights, nothing else. Because then you actually see what you're really weak at. And even you can see what you're strong at as well, but that you might already know. And you might even have a small picture of what you are weak at, even with the equipment. But I can tell you guys, when you remove everything, making you use just your body, just your muscles, just your joints, no help, no extra stimuli whatsoever, you're gonna get put on the spot. Your weaknesses and struggle will be put out there, whether you like it or not. Because this was the case for me. I really saw how much I needed to improve in the detail, the minor areas, some minor muscles, even some minor and more detailed moving patterns. I will talk about this in a minute. But it really taught me what I needed to do. And I'm glad I did this type of change. And I want to make a video of this because I really think it's worth exploring, whether it's for you or not. I'm not saying the raw way is the best way, because necessarily it isn't. It doesn't have to be for me either, but in the point of time in my life right now, it is. But if we talk about 2 years ahead, maybe it isn't. And that's what we all need to reflect on. What do we need right now? Individually, but individually in relation to the point of time in our life. Because our goals change, because our capacities change as well. So it's quite the infinite loop, if you will, and therefore this is a big reason why I think it's a bad idea to set up one specific goal, because the goal will always be moving. The goal will always change, whether you like it or not. And therefore, the best thing you can do is focus on the process over results. Because if you focus on the process, the result will come automatically. So, but that's another topic for another video. But today's video, as I have been thinking about for quite some time now, is like starting a new series where I talk like this, more face to face, and including more educational topics, oftenly like comparing two different types of matters, two different types of topics. And today's topics will be like I've been talking about now, raw versus equipped training. What is better? What are the individual like aspects, benefits, maybe even differences between these two? And it will maybe help you guys if you're looking for something new to like estimate what type of approach you should be trying out. But yeah, I talked a lot about it in the beginning of this video, like why I prefer the raw type of training right now is because I want and need to like increase my natural like human strength without any support, because if I do that and when I do that, it will help me so much more when I actually put the support back on. Like if I increase my strength in like the squat, the bench, the deadlift without any belt or sleeves or wraps, then obviously my strength will even skyrocket more when I put on some like wanted wrist straps or something like that. And who knows, that's also why I'm doing it, because I will be much less limited and dependent on these type of things. Because now when I'm like improving and working on my stability in like my wrists, my core, my back, if I work on that enough and like much more, it will get improved, and therefore I won't be needing the like support as much or even at all. So that's my plan as well. But if we talk about powerlifting, it's no hiding the fact that you need support because it's so demanding on the body. So whether you're naturally gifted in strength or not, you will be needing like knee sleeves, wrist wraps. But an approach like this, like training up your strength as much as possible without it, will be an effective move for me, but not for everyone. But that was like the raw. Then we can compare it to, as I mentioned now, the equipped training, which I have literally been doing for the previous like years of my training career. Like even if I'm praising the raw training right now, I really see some great benefits in training with all these kinds of like equipment, like lifting belt and knee sleeves, because it adds a lot of like warmth to your joints, which makes it easier to like perform the like exercises more smoothly with more confidence as well. But these are also things you might wanna improve without it later on. But it will mostly help you lift more weight. It will. So therefore you will get more gains and progress, maybe even more efficiently in that run. So there's like good sides to both of these approaches. I'm not hating on the equipped training. I think it's a really good move and approach for a lot of people. I think the problem begins in the lack of variation, because the problem for me was that I got stuck and I only used the equipments all the time, like even when I didn't need to. I could have like days where I put on some knee sleeves during deadlift, or like wrist wraps during deadlifts, because that's pointless. It does nothing. Knee sleeves during deadlifts could do minor like stability improvements and those kinds of stuff, but not much. But I just wore the supplements and the like equipment just because it was fun. I could, so it was like that pointless thing, and therefore I could become more independent in my training, and even quality of life as well, by removing these equipments. But it depends on how you see it, depends on what your goal is again. If you're purely powerlifting, it still is really effective and even like essential to be training with this equipment or these supplemental like materials, because you need it, because you will be lifting so heavy, so you need as much support as possible. But the like rule of thumb here and the lesson here is that you should not like limit yourself so you will be so dependent by it. Use your knee sleeves, use your belt, because it adds much more, it adds a lot of value to your execution when you're training. It really does. But were I with some like raw training as well, so you maybe have some lighter days where you purely high bar squat without anything at all, because the squat is a common exercise which is being performed with a lot of like support, such as belt and knee sleeves, and even wrist wraps if you perform a low bar squat and you have quite poor like mobility and stability in your wrists. I use that a lot. I still see it as a great equipment to use in that type of movement, but yeah, it got very like one-sided and like addicted to the equipment, if you will. So it feels much better to use this more type of free and like adapted type of training. But yeah, weaknesses and strengths with both of these approaches, so choose wisely. But with that being said, it's also important to explore all kinds, not just different kinds of working like gym splits or sets, reps, different approaches, but especially here, try, if you're lifting a lot with equipment, try a period of time just to lift with nothing at all, like raw training. See if you like it, because that was my approach. I was just gonna try it out, like just to see what am I weak at if I remove all these kinds of stuff. Then I saw, hey, my bracing, my core is pretty weak, my stability in the back is pretty weak. Maybe work that up, maybe improve that by yourself. And then it just stuck with me. So since then I just continue to train without it, and even though I am able to lift less amount of weight, which has been the most difficult part for me, because when you remove the like support and equipment, you lose some stability, and you're put on the spot to actually work on your weak spot, which also makes you lift less weight. So that's, in the beginning, was kind of frustrating, but it's just to build that strength up naturally. So it has been really good, actually. So recommend trying it. Go for it. Yeah. That was it for today's video. And yeah, I will be making more of this type of like educational content. Sadly, I will be making less like training, like where you see me roll the footage where I'm training, because right now I have less amount of time to actually film at the gym. So I will be trying to film more at home, as you see now, like more face to face, talk to you guys like what I wanna say and teach. So it will be like new set of content from now on, but we see. We'll maybe go back to the like ordinary type of content, but hey, I don't know. Let's figure it out. But with that being said, I hope you have a great week, and I'll catch you on the next one.